Little Red Riding Hood. Once upon a time, there was a pretty little girl with golden hair. She was good to her mother and often helped her with the housework and the mending. She always wore a dear little red cap, and everyone called her Little Red Riding Hood. One day her mother spoke to her. "Put a cake and a pot of cream into your basket and take them to your grandmother who lives in the wood." Little Red Riding Hood put the cake and the cream into her basket and ran out of the house. "Listen," cried her mother. "Be sure to go straight to your granny's and back. Do not stop to play on the way, and do not talk to the wolf. He's wicked and sly." "Don't worry, mother," called Red Riding Hood. "I shall soon be back." Then she went on her way through the woods, singing a merry little song. Soon she came to a woodcutter, and he called to her, "Well, little girl, where are you off to this fine day?" "I'm taking my granny a cake and some cream," said Little Red Riding Hood.
"Beware of the wolf, then," said the woodcutter, "and do not listen to anything he says."
Little Red Riding Hood ran happily through the bushes. She picked some bright toadstools and a bunch of wild flowers, singing merrily all the time. Then suddenly there came a wolf with a sharp nose and long ears. Red Riding Hood screamed, but the wolf spoke gently to her.
"Good day, my dear little girl. Are you out for a walk?"
"Yes, Mr. Wolf, I'm going to see my granny."
"Shall we have a little race?" went on the wolf, "and see who reaches your granny's house first? You shall go that way, and I will go this."
The wolf took a shortcut and came to the cottage very quickly. Rat-a-tat-tat, rat-a-tat-tat, he knocked at the door, but nobody answered.
"The cottage is empty," said the wolf. "I will go in."
The wolf went inside the cottage and looked around.
"I have a good idea," he said. "I will find some of the old granny's clothes. Now, where will they be?"
He soon found some in a chest of drawers and quickly dressed himself. He put on a long white nightdress and tied the blue ribbons under his hairy chin.
"I look just like a very, very old dame," he said. "Little Red Riding Hood will think I'm her granny."
The wolf climbed into bed, pulled the sheets right up to his chin, and then put on the old granny's glasses.
"Bah!" he said. "No one would guess I'm an old wolf now. Hurry, Red Riding Hood, come quickly."
Little Red Riding Hood played with the birds and listened to their songs, and then she saw that the sun was setting. "Oh, I shall be late," she cried. "I must go to my granny's," and she ran off quickly. At last she came to the little cottage. The door was fast shut, and she knocked, rat-a-tat-tat, rat-a-tat-tat.
"Who is there?" called a voice.
"Your little granddaughter," answered Red Riding Hood. "I bring you a cake and some cream."
"Come in, my child, come in."
The little girl went into the cottage. "Oh, Granny," she said, "you're in bed. Are you ill?"
"Yes, I am ill," said the wolf. "Come close to me so that I can see and hear you easily."
The wolf hid himself as well as he could under the bedclothes and pulled the bonnet well over his head. "Granny, what big ears you have," said Red Riding Hood.
"All the better to hear you with."
"What big eyes you have."
"All the better to see you with."
"And Granny, what big teeth you have."
"All the better to eat you with,"
cried the wolf. He leapt out of bed and pounced on the frightened little girl, but his feet caught in the long nightdress, and he could not catch Little Red Riding Hood. She ran out of the door, shouting, "Help, help, help!" The woodcutter was passing by and heard her calls. He took a big stick and struck the wicked wolf, who fell down and died. The little girl's granny, who'd been out searching for firewood, heard the cries and the shouts and came running up. She was just in time to see the bad wolf being carried away. Then the granny took the frightened little girl into her cottage and sat her on her knee.
"You must never, never listen to any wolf," she said, "and you must never, never stop to play when you're sent on an errand. Now dry your tears, we'll have tea together, and I'll take you safely home."